what's up? It's Gilbert.K here, and welcome to a very exciting episode. Today we'll be discussing the top 10 box office. First thing first, Kung Fu Panda 4 has the lowest budget of any Kung Fu Panda film, about $85 million, since the original Kung Fu Panda, which was $130 million. So the Kung Fu Panda extraordinaire is stepping up to become the Zen master of his beloved Valley of Peace. But every master needs a successor, you know? So he's on the hunt for a fresh face to don the Dragon Warrior, enter the new recruit, ready to be whipped into shape by Poe's legendary moves. Meanwhile, a slippery foe, the Chameleon, is stirring up trouble, summoning a rogues gallery of villains from the past. It's going to be a wild ride. Directed by Mike Mitchell and Stephanie Stein. It's the first Kung Fu Panda sequel not to be directed by Jennifer Yu now. The stars Jack Black, Awkwafina, and Viola Davis. Did you know that Viola Davis is the third consecutive Academy Award winner? Played the villain in a Kung Fu Panda movie after Gary Oldman in Kung Fu Panda 2, 2011, and J.K. Simmons in Kung Fu Panda 3, 2016. Let's talk about finance. The budget is $85 million. The weekend gross $30 million. The total domestic $108 million. The world including $177 million. Next is Dune Part 2. Stellan Skarsgård's body makeup took 8 hours to apply and 2 hours to remove for every day of shooting. He didn't drink anything, took Imodium pills in order to avoid having to go to the bathroom. What would you do in that situation? Here's another fact for you. Contrary to the usual practice, Dune and Dune 2 were not filmed back to back, and the studio's approval of the second film very hinged on the success of the first. Did you know also AMC's website crashed when tickets for this film went on sale? So what is it all about? Paul Atreides, cosmic Avenger, joined forces with Chani and the fierce Fremen on a quest for vengeance against the scheming villains who shattered his family. As he treads the fine line between passion, cosmic duty, he's caught in a dilemma to follow his heart or steer the universe away. Future only he can only see. The stakes are sky high. The drama is out of this world. The film is directed by Denis Villeneuve, French-Canadian. The stars Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, and Rebecca Ferguson. The film is 2 hours and 46 minutes. So you bring with you popcorn and some snacks. The film was shot on a 6K, various cameras, and also on IMAX. Let's talk finance. Budget is $190 million. Weekend is $29 million. Total is gross $205. And the word $408. Next is Arthur the King. Did you know that Mark Wahlberg tore his knee on the first day of shooting and implemented the pain of his injury into a performance? That's what I call method acting. An adventure racer in search of a furry sidekick finds a match, and Arthur is stray dog with a heart of gold and paws built for endurance. Together, they're setting off on an epic race, proving that when it comes to adventure, 4 legs are better than 2. The film is directed by Simon Samuel Jones. The stars Mark Wahlberg, Simu Liu, and Julia Trannon. In terms of financial, the budget is $19 million. The weekend is 7.6, and total gross $7.6 million. Next is Imaginary. If you're into horror, this film is for you. It's one of the Blumhouse production film. The first trailer, which first premiered in front of Five Nights, here's a fact for you. The first trailer, which first premiered in front of Five Nights at Freddy's, consisted almost entirely sound. Next, Imaginary. If you're into horror, this film is for you. It's one of the Blumhouse production films. Here's a fact for you. The first trailer, which first premiered in front of Five Nights, Freddy's, consisted almost entirely sound effects over a blank screen, encouraging audiences to use their imagination. That's a great marketing. The film is about a woman who heads back to her childhood home, expecting a stroll down a memory lane. Surprise! Her imaginary friend from back in the day is not only real, but also miffed about being ghosted. Who knew make-believe buddies could hold a grudge? The film is directed by Jeff Wadlow, stars DeWanda Wise, Dijen Burns, Piper Brown. In terms of finance, budget is estimated at $13 million. The weekend gross $5.6 million. The total gross is $19 million. The world is $21 million. Next is Cabrini. The word is too small for what I intend to do. It's a direct quote from the actual Francis Cabrini. It's from the visionary lands of Alejandro Monteverde, The maestro behind Sound of Freedom comes the stirring saga Francesca Cabrini. So what is it about? It's from the visionary lens of Alejandro Monteverde. The maestro behind Sound of Freedom comes the stirring saga of Francesca Cabrini, an Italian immigrant step into the bustling streets of New York City, 1889, only to be welcomed by a cocktail of disease, crime, and little ones in rags. But Cabrini isn't one to back down. Armed with a fierce spirit, broken English, and health that's seen better days, he embarks on a bold crusade to charm the skeptical mayor. But Cabrini isn't one to back down. Armed with a fierce spirit, broken English, and health seen better days, he embarks on a bold crusade to charm the skeptical mayor into providing a lifeline for the city's most forgotten souls. Watch as she spins her entrepreneurial magic, weaving together an empire of hope that the world had never witnessed before. Here's a fact for you. According to screenwriter Rob Barr, the writing team read more than 26 biographical books of Frances Cabrini in preparation for the screenplay. The film was directed by Alejandro Monteverde and it stars Christiana Delanna, John Lithgow, David Morse, and it's 2 hours and 22 minutes. Let's talk about financials. The budget is $50 million. The weekend gross is $2.8 million. The world gross is $13 million. Next, Love Lies Bleeding. Ed Harris originally wore very long hair extensions as a joke, but the director decided to keep them in the film. And it's nominated for Best Feature Film at the Berlin International Film Festival. Here's another fact for you. The film premiered to a standing ovation at the 2024 Sundance Film Festival. So what is it about? The gym manager Lou falls for Jackie, a bodybuilder who's passing through town en route to competition in Las Vegas. Its film is directed by Rose Glass. The stars are Anna Baryshnikov, Kristen Stewart, and Dave Franco. The weekend gross is $2.5 million, and total gross is $2.8 million. Next is Bob Marley, One Love. The film is about the story of how reggae icon Bob Marley overcame adversity and the journey behind his revolutionary music. The film was directed by Ronaldo Marcus Green. The stars Kingsley Ben-Adir, Shana Lynch, James Norton. Did you know? An end title states that Bob Marley died in 1981, age 36, and Kingsley celebrated his 37th birthday during filming. Did you know for his role as Bob Marley, Kingsley Ben-Adir immersed himself in Jamaican patois for over a year? On set, he was supported by a team of 7 to 8 language experts. About finance, the weekend gross is $2.3 million. The total is $93 million, and the world gross $169 million. Next film is One Life. Did you know that the film won the Audience Award at Palm Springs International Film Festival? And also, the cast includes 1 Oscar winner, Anthony Hopkins, and 3 Oscar nominees, Helena Bonham Carter, Jonathan Pryce, and Lena Olin. The true story of Sir Nicholas Nicky Winton, a young London broker who in the months leading up to World War II rescued 669 Jewish children from the Nazis. Nicky visited Prague in December 1938 and found families who had fled the rise of Nazis in Germany and Austria living in desperate conditions with little or no shelter and food and under threat of Nazi invasion. He immediately realized it was race against time. How many children could he rescue before the borders closed? 50 years later, it's 1988, and Nicky lives haunted by the fate of the children he wasn't able to bring to safety in England, always blaming himself for not doing more. It's not until a live BBC TV show, That's Life, surprises him by introducing him to some surviving children, now adults, that he finally begins to come to terms with the guilt and grief he had carried for 5 decades. Did you know the film is based on a true story of Sir Nicholas Winton, who saved 669 children's lives throughout 1938 and 1939. The film is directed by James Hawes and stars by Anthony Hopkins, Lena Olin, and Johnny Flynn. The weekend gross is $1.7 million, total gross $1.7 million, and the world gross is $32 million, in its first week in its release. Next, the American Society of Magical Negroes. Did you know that the film won for Best Directors at the Palm Springs International Film Festival? What is it about? It's a young man, Aaron, is recruited into secret society of magical black people who dedicate their lives to a cause of utmost importance, making white people's lives easier. It's directed by Kobe Levy, Justice Smith, Zachary Barton, Anthony Coons. You know the magical Negro is a trope seen in literature and media. They're typically a secondary or background black character who helps out the main white character. Notable examples include several Stephen King characters like Dick Halloran and The Shining, and John Coffey in The Green Mile, Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost, Jimon Hunsu in Gladiator, and many others. The term was coined by Spike Lee in 2001. In terms of finance, weekend gross is $1.3 million. The total is 1.3. Next is Ordinary Angel. Did you know that Hilary Swank began filming this movie 5 months after her father passed away? Swank's father, Michael Swank, had received a lung transplant in 2015, and Swank put her acting career on hold for 3 years to take care of him as he recovered from the transplant. Did you know when asked if there was anything that surprised her about making the movie, Hilary Swank immediately responded, yes, that Winnipeg could be that cold. Welcome to Canada, Hilary. So what is it about? It's inspired by the incredible true story of a hairdresser who single-handedly rallies the entire community to help the widowed father save the life of his critically ill young daughter. It's directed by John Gunn, stars Hilary Swank, Anna Richardson, Emily Mitchell. The weekend gross is $942K. Total gross is $18 million. And the world gross is $18 million. That's all, folks. That was the top 10 box office of 2024. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Until next time, Gilbert.K out.